What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another daily edition of Morning Rundown, where I'm going to run you through what's going on in the Pirates minor leagues. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. A lot of action going on last night. A lot of rain. The Altoona game got looks like it got suspended. They're going to restart it again Sunday. So they're going to play two. So first off, we're going to get started with a little bit of a Lonnie White's debut, if you want to say. He was drafted back in 2021. If you followed me or followed any of my stuff at all, you know that I've been really high on him for a long time. He was the guy I was excited about when they drafted him. Kind of like Bubba Chandler in a sense, to where the multi-sport star, and I was going to focus on baseball. So maybe a little bit of adjustment period. Unfortunately, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries since being drafted. Finally is in Bradenton playing. Finally, we got some eyes on him. We've seen reports. We've seen clips. We've seen little bits and pieces here and there. But this is the first actual game that a lot of us was actually able to see him, and not a bad start. Picked up a hit, an RBI hit, stole a base, walked, also struck out, and then had a fly out towards the end of the game. First thing, kind of just seeing him. You can see the football. A big kid. You can see he was committed to go to Penn State so he could play football as well. You can see that built in him. Great swing. Just as he gets comfortable and starts getting comfortable in pro ball, you can see the power potential maybe start to chip in. He's got the speed. It's just a matter if he's going to be able to hit so he can move on and progress to the next level. But finally got to see a little bit of him, and would have been nice to see him play a little bit sooner, but it wasn't a horrible debut. The walk itself was nice. The pitcher threw a lot of big looping breaking pitches, swung a miss at one, was able to foul one off, and then took one that was really enticing. So all in all, for if you want to read too much into a game, you can one game, which I don't usually like to, but you see the rawness working there, and but you see the skill set as well. In the same game, speaking of the 2021 draft as well, Owen Kellington, he's had a okay season. He's another guy who's kind of missed a lot of time because of injury. They only pitched 10 innings last year, I believe it was, in a complex league, so still pretty raw. Walks have been a major concern for him. Has really limited the amount of innings he's been able to throw this year, keeping the outing shorter and all that. The strikeout rate isn't bad. He's at 26.5% right now. Big breaking curveball, one of the best. I'd say one of the best curveballs in the entire system right now. I think I've written about that previously on P2. How his curveball matches up with Quinn Priester and Mike Burrows. Last night, only three and 2/3 innings. Only gave up 3 hits, struck out 5, one earned run. The big thing, only 1 walk. That's the first game since May 10th that he's pitched in to where he's only walked 1 or 0. So that's a big step for him. Like to see him find a little more consistent command control. The delivery is there's a little bit of a lean back in it to where maybe repeating is becoming a little bit of an issue. Maybe some tweaks and stuff like that would help. Outside of that, the big thing with him is going to be the fastball velocity. Averages 90, 91 on the fastball. Obviously, you're going to want to see that uptick a little bit if he's going to want to have some success down the road. And finally, another signing. The Pirates signed their 7th round pick, Jaden Woods, out of Georgia. He's a very interesting left-handed pitcher. First 2 years at Georgia, he was a reliever. They decided to slide him into the rotation this year. There's a lot of preseason hype on him. I think even some mock drafts and route rankings and stuff like that even thought he could slip into like the first round if he took the right kind of steps forward. Everything that I've seen, a lot of scouting reports have him with like a above average to plus slider, fastball that can go anywhere between 92, 95, maybe up to 96. Struggled with his control last year. Did strike out 62 batters in 48 and a third innings last year across 10 starts. So there's some stuff there. I've talked about on here and on the podcast about the upside that some of these pitchers have. If they can make a couple tweaks, maybe the Pirates have something in them. He's a guy that I would imagine they, even though maybe the starting didn't work out at Georgia, they're still going to want to try to make a change or an adjustment here and there and give it another shot as a starter. You know, in those kind of situations, if it doesn't play with this with him having the slider that he has, you can always just pull the plug on it at any point and just kind of toss him in the bullpen and let him go wild. But he was a guy that I was really interested in at the beginning of the season. Thought he would go higher. There's obvious reasons why he didn't. I've watched a couple of his starts on YouTube. He had one, I can't remember who it was against, but he gave up like a single and a double to lead off the game. And so his runners on second and third with nobody out. He struck out the next two batters and then got a fly out. So he, showed some pitchability and, can dig deep to get outs, get strikeouts and stuff like that. Maybe it does work out better for him as a reliever. But I do like the pick and the signing, and really think for a 7th round pick he could bring some pretty good value back for the Pirates. But it's a quick episode today. That's kind of what's going on in the system right now. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do these every morning. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another rundown.